So the secret's finally out. We finally know what pandemonium is. Time running pandemonium. You may have seen the blue post yesterday. We're going to look over it today. I'm going to clarify some questions that you might have because I do have a little bit of insider info as to how some of these features and functions are going to actually work when you get in there and start playing. And hopefully I can answer some of those questions that you might have so you're prepared when the time comes to log in. Now, just before we get into all the details of this, I do want to let you know that I'm streaming the PTR testing of this over the weekend, starting Friday, going into Sunday. So if you want to see how this is actually working, you want to see somebody go through it themselves, or if you just want to play with me too, if you want to get on the PTR and join up with me, the link to my Twitch will be in the description below. Come by, give me a follow, and I'll see you there. Let's start digging into the details of how this remix is going to work. So let me pull up the article. Just a quick recap as to what WoW Remix Mist of Pandaria or Pandemonium is. It's essentially a new leveling path. So it's a limited time event. Don't worry. When you hear limited time, you might be freaking out, but don't worry. It's a limited time event where you create a brand new character and you level from 10 all the way through 70 in the Mist of Pandaria expansion. So there's a few ways that you're going to be able to actually get experience and start leveling up. But before we get to that, I just want to also clarify that going from level 10 through 70 isn't going to take you very long. Like, you might not be totally into the idea of leveling a character. You might be the type of person that just buys boosts. This is going to be different. This is going to be way different. Right off the bat, you're going to have a 324% experience boost from a artifact cloak that you get on your character. You get it on all your characters that are in time running, and they're all going to share those same benefits from the cloak. So right off the hop, you're getting 324% increased experience from everything. On top of that, your character is also going to be incredibly powerful. So you're going to have insane amount of stats. You're going to have crazy gear where every slot in your character's inventory has a socket, and these sockets aren't just your regular gems. It's not just crit, haste. These are gems that have proc effects. They have things that give you new abilities. So your character is going to be extremely powerful. So it's not going to be the same leveling experience that you might be assuming it's going to be. You're not going to be slogging your way through all the Mist quests, taking hours upon hours to go from one level to the next. This is going to be different. This is like a new Diablo season, for example, where you get in there, you have all these extra bonuses that just make it a familiar but different experience. You're going to create a brand new character, and this character isn't isolated to just this WoW Remix limited time event. This character is going to actually continue on, once you're done with it, into the War Within or into Dragonflight once this event is done. So you're not going to lose your character. You're going to keep your character. What's going to happen is once you get it to 70 and the event goes away, that character will stay in your character sheet, in your login screen, but it's going to be replaced. Obviously, you can't take this crazy gear on with you. You'll get a set of new gear that's, relevant and appropriate for the level that you're going to be at, 70. And yeah, you'll get to keep that character. So if you're thinking of playing an alt for the War Within, this is the perfect way to get that alt ready and leveled up. So you're going to have this character. You're going to be leveling. There's different ways that you can get experience. You can get it through questing. As you level up through questing, you're going to unlock dungeons. You can queue for those dungeons. You're not just getting dungeons, you're getting raids as well. The raids are going to work like this. So there's going to be LFR, normal, heroic, which is unlocked at level 70, then mythic. For mythic, the only raid available is Siege of Orgrimmar. So as you're leveling up, you're going to be unlocking raids. If we scroll down here, you can see at level 25, you unlock Logushan Vaults. So you're either going to be able to queue for LFR through the menu screen, right? Or there's also going to be normal raids, which you can do with a group that you put together. Cool thing is, it's going to be 10 man. So you can go in there with 10 people that you just find in general chat, and guys can just blast through it and have a great time. And you're gaining experience while you're in there because you're still in the level up process. You're still only level 25 when you unlock this. So you're going to be getting all of these dungeons to do all of these scenarios. Raids are unlocked. You're getting loot from the raid, and your character is just getting better and better and better. The one thing that I have to mention about loot is that it's not your average World of Warcraft loot. So there's a new system. So welcome to a new Bronze Age. Every mob, anything in this entire new event that has a chance to drop loot, whether it's just like a random questing mob or an elite, a rare, or a raid boss, they can all drop something. So even like little trash, little quest mobs have the chance to drop a mount or cool piece of transmog. The elites and the rares, obviously they have a higher chance, and the raid bosses obviously have the highest chance. But even if you kill something and you get a piece of gear that you don't necessarily need, you can convert it into this new currency, bronze. And bronze is this currency that you're going to be able to buy anything and everything from these little stations that are in each zone called the Bazaar. The Bazaar is going to sell things like class transmogs, Mists of Pandaria mounts, toys, everything. So everything that you loot is never going to waste. You might not want it for your character, but you're able to convert it into this bronze currency and then put it towards getting something that you do actually want. Are going to be able to go to the Bazaar and buy pretty much anything you need or want with this new currency called bronze. Some of the things that are obtainable are a recolor of the Elegon mount. This is super cool. I think this is the mount that everyone's going to be trying to get. The original is like bluish silvery. This one is pure gold. This bird mount. Let's take a look at some of the sockets, just to give you a quick example. Like I said, each of your gear, your slots of gear that you have in your character, is going to be sockets. There's different types of sockets. There's meta gems. So these give you like proc effects, basically. This one, you summon a storm, call down 5 bolts of lightning every 1 second. Each bolt inflicts 25.8k nature damage to an enemy. During the storm, 3 flowers grow around the caster. After 5 seconds, the flowers bloom, restoring health. Transform into a thundering orb, inflicting nature damage to enemies within 30 yards over 4 seconds. 30 yards is pretty big. While you are a thundering orb, damage taken is reduced by 50%, movement speed is reduced by 70%, and you are immune to loss of control effects. Oblivion Sphere. Coalesce an orb of pure void that increases critical strike damage taken by enemies within 15 yards by 50% for 10 seconds. After 4 seconds, the orb explodes, inflicting shadow damage. So if you plan on playing a Havoc Demon Hunter, this might be a good one for you. By the way, you can play a Demon Hunter in Mists of Pandaria. Something I forgot to mention, you can pick any class that is available on retail right now in Dragonflight. You can come in here, you can play as an evoker. You're getting your talents exactly like they are in the game right now in Dragonflight. Obviously, you're going to be unlocking talent points as you level up, and your character is going to pretty much be exactly how it is on retail, but you're also getting these special effects in your gear. It's going to play like you've never played it before. It's going to be crazy. Primordial Gems, Hailstorm. So this one, every 3 seconds builds a charge of Hailstorm. Upon reaching 10 stacks, unleash hail on enemies within 50 yards. Each impact inflicts frost damage and applies Numbing Cold. Numbing Cold reduces movement speed and reduces damage dealt by 10%. So these are all just like kind of effects that you can slot into all of your pieces of gear. Where it gets really interesting is when you come down to the Cogwheel Gems, and these ones give you abilities. So you could get Blink. You could play, you could play a Demon Hunter, and you could get Blink. Teleports you forward 10 yards, or until reaching an obstacle, and frees you from all stuns and bonds. You can get Sprint, just like a Rogue has. You can get Roll. I don't know if there's going to be more of these with different abilities, but these are just a few examples of things you can get. Cloak of the Infinite Potential. Now, this is going to be your cloak that I was telling you about. You're going to have on all of your characters that you make that you use inside of this limited time event. It's called the Cloak of Infinite Potential. And as you level up your character, the power on this cloak is scaling up and up and up and up. Now, once you get one character maxed all the way up to 70, if you go and make another character, that new character is going to have the juiced up stats on its cloak that your 70 had. So you're going to be able to level even faster and kill things faster and just blast through everything at an insane rate. This is going to be super fun, guys. I am so stoked for this. Season 4, when it was announced, was kind of a flop. Kind of knew what to expect, but we were kind of hoping for maybe a little bit of variety, a little bit of spice. Maybe a new affix, a new seasonal affix. There's nothing. It's the same dungeons. It's the same raids. So everyone was kind of bummed out. Then they announced this, and everyone is like, holy shit. If you are looking to get an alt ready for the War Within, this is the perfect way to do it. As I said, this character does carry on into the War Within, so probably don't want to just make what your main is, because then kind of useless. So I'm not making a Demon Hunter. I'm thinking of maybe making a Mage or a Ret Paladin. Not too sure yet. I have to decide. So a few other things that they clarified, ones that are actually relevant here. Let's see. So the Legendary Cloak quest chain will not be enabled because we're going to have that artifact cloak, but you will be able to get toys that give you the effect and the appearance of the Legendary Cloak from Mists of Pandaria, and that will also allow you to get across that gap. It will give you wings to get across that gap and access Ordos for the world boss. You will not be able to get mounts that are unavailable now, so things that came from Ahead of the Curve or whatever, like the Ashen Phoenix, you won't be able to buy that. Anything that comes from Mists of Pandaria that is available in Dragonflight now, you can buy it with the bronze currency. So Son of Galleon, Astral Cloud Serpent, etc. This clarifies that you can play Drakthir, you can play anything that is available in retail currently. Race, class, it's all fair game. So again, I just want to go over sort of the timeline on how this works when you start playing. You start at level 10 and you start in Jade Forest. At level 10, you'll be able to do these scenarios and these dungeons, and you work down through all of the campaign, through all the zones. You get to 25, you unlock Mogushon Vaults. 30, 35, you unlock Heart of Fear, so you can start doing that raid. Level 40, you go to Vale of Eternal Blossoms, which is where my character is right now. You unlock more dungeons, more scenarios, and you unlock Terrace of Endless Springs. Then, from there, at 45, you get to go to the Isle of Giants. If you remember, Isle of Giants, that's where Undasta is. Do you guys remember that raid boss? The raid boss that was almost unkillable for a while and just absolutely massacred everyone. It's going to be a good time. Then we go to the Timeless Isles, everyone's favorite zone. When everyone talks about how Blizzard could make a new mid-expansion or end-of-expansion zone, almost like a playground, like an amusement park for players, this is what their reference is, Timeless Isles. This is the start of it all. This was the best time they ever did it, and I'm super excited to go back there. This is going to be a great time. And then at level 50, Isle of Thunder, we get to go do the Throne of Thunder raid. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. One of the most revered raids as well. When everyone thinks of their favorite raid, when they think back to previous expansions, this is it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. At level 60, you unlock Siege of Orgrimmar. And then at level 70, you unlock Heroic Raids. So you get to go back, do these raids again, but on heroic difficulty. And again, you're going to be able to do it on 10-man. And then there's also going to be Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic. And that's 20. Siege of Orgrimmar was the very first raid that they enabled the Mythic difficulty on. So that's why it's only available, only that raid is available on Mythic. The other ones are only LFR, Normal, and Heroic. So just to recap on what this really is, it's an accelerated leveling and content game mode that's allowing you to take on nearly every quest, scenario, dungeon, and raid from Mists of Pandaria. Create a brand new WoW Remix character starting at level 10, and you adventure through the event up to level 70. You get a insane amount of loot. It's going to be super powerful. There's going to be so much customization. It can come from anywhere. It can come from quests, chests, creatures, bosses, anywhere. You could buy it from the bazaar. It's also all customizable, allowing you to power up as fast as you can to go take on tougher content, and you can convert any unwanted items into bronze, which can then be used to upgrade items or purchase brand new cosmetics. The most important thing is you keep what you collect. So any transmog that you are able to get in this new game mode, any mounts, armor transmogs, toys, all transferable and will all stay with you on your account, so you're able to access it onto your main character in Dragonflight and the War Within. I'm super excited for this, guys. I will see you over on the PTR this weekend. Stop by, give me a follow, and make sure you give this video a like. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're not already. I'm trying to get up to 30K subscribers before the War Within. All right, guys, I will catch you later. Peace.